What's up everyone? So in today's video, I should probably not be this excited for it. We're fixing an issue on my Tacoma. This is lift related. If you guys saw earlier, I made a 500-mile review on the lift kit. This is something that I didn't find out until after I made that video, which is why I didn't talk about it then. But I'm gonna let you guys listen to it. That's why I've come to the side of this building so we can kind of get it echoing off this building. I haven't really heard it as loud the last couple days, so hopefully I can get some good clips for you guys on what the issue is, and you can comment down below what you think is wrong with the lift kit on my Tacoma. I have hopefully the parts in my mailbox right now, so we'll check out those and hopefully I can get that installed later today. If you can see, the truck is really dirty now. Don't mind that. We had some fun out in the snow yesterday. This is what's left of it. We don't get a lot of snow here, so it's already melted everywhere. I should mention too that before we start this, the noise is only coming from the driver's side. So I've eliminated it down to that. So the runs that I'll do will just be on the driver's side. Hopefully you guys could hear a little bit of that. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put the GoPro underneath. I heard some kind of pop that last clip. So I'm gonna figure out how to get the GoPro under there so we can get a little bit better audio. So if you haven't figured it out by now, I think I have an issue with my driver's side CV axle. It's like every rotation, every other rotation, you can hear kind of like a cranking, clicking noise. And I don't know if it's something internally or it's just the rubber at a certain angle, but I think that's it, because the only rotational components up front are the CV axle and then the wheel and tire, of course. Everything else is stationary. So that's where I'm gonna start. I'm pretty sure that's the issue. So we're gonna install that part today. I'm kind of disappointed. It was something that was totally unexpected. On my 2007 Toyota Tacoma with a 3-inch lift, I had 0 issues with that kit for 8 years. That was a solid lift and everything was perfect on that. On the kit that I got for this truck, it did not come with the piece that we're going to be installing later today. This has been a pretty controversial topic. When I was picking out the lift, a lot of people said, you don't need to do this part, it's going to be fine. A lot of people said, always do it. You're going to change angles, you need to add components to keep things as close to stock as possible. So there's a lot of debate, as you guys will see, the part that we're hopefully opening up today. I also want to mention too that on the lift kit that I have, I did add a 1/4 inch top plate spacer. So that gave me another 1/2 inch of lift up front. And I think that is probably where I'm having the issue, going up another 1/2 inch in the front and not installing this part yet. So I hope that this part works and that this video is successful. Alright guys, so this is the front differential drop spacer kit. You can see I have the washer spacers. This kit actually came with ones for the skid plate too, since I'm gonna have to relocate that. And then these are the new bolts that go through these and obviously drop the diff. There's also some instructions with the kit. It should be fairly straightforward. I do have a slight modification that I have to make, so hopefully that goes well. So with the truck in the garage now, the first thing that I need to do is remove the 4 skid plate bolts. So when you're taking this off, I recommend you do the back 2 first, because you can see the front is hanging now. That way if you're doing this just by yourself, you can easily kind of lift this up off its hinges. So now it's time to move on to these 2 front brackets. And real quick, the front skid plate bolts were a 12mm socket. I'm going to be using a 17 on these radiator bracket supports, and then a 7/8 for the actual differential drop bolts, which are up in here. So this one just connects to the front radiator support and the front cross member. I have one on each side.
so this side just has one more, so there's 7 bolts total to get both of those off.
So next up, before I can remove the bolts for the differential drop spacer itself, if you have the optional transfer case skid plate, which I do, this kit also comes with 2 spacers that I need to mount at the top bracket on that side and on this top bracket here. So I have to drop this skid plate just in the front though, so that will allow clearance on this bottom section, because when we go ahead and lower this, this is obviously gonna be in the way. So this is gonna be a 12mm socket. With both of those out now, I'm not going to be able to reuse that because the kit says to use 2 of these spacers. So I have a new bolt, one for each side, of course. I think I'm going to go ahead and finish that up first. That way I don't have to worry about the skid plate hanging or anything. Alright guys, so I decided to tackle this one side without filming, so that way I could have a better understanding of everything and kind of walk you guys through this. So again, on the skid plate, this was a 10mm socket. The new bolt is now a 12, and if you can see, there are 2 spacers that are now separating this from the frame here. So that's one side. I also have the differential drop spacer in. I want to show you guys the CV axle before and after before I move on to that other side. But this was relatively easy. I'm going to show you something that I did. So it comes with a new bolt, again, the spacer, and then the nut, and this is a 19mm. So this is a pretty good difference. You guys can see that CV axle is pretty much parallel to the ground. It's virtually straight. And then if we come to this side, which I haven't done yet, I'll put up pictures on the screen here side by side. You can see how much more of an angle that the driver's side is, again, than the passenger side. So that is pretty much back to stock. And we'll just go back and forth again real quick so you can see the angle and then how much straighter it is. That's a good difference. So I'm hoping that this resolves this issue with the truck.
Moving on to this side now, these bolts are pretty torqued in. This is the only socket size that I have. It doesn't have much leverage. So I've come up with a creative solution, and sometimes you just have to do this sometimes. This is a handle from my motorcycle stand. So I'm just going to slide it over the end of the socket, keep a firm placement on my left hand, and now I have a longer lever arm, because that was a pain in the butt trying to do it with this little socket. So you can hose me for that if you want, but I think it was a creative solution, and no need for an impact wrench.
I'm going to go ahead and slide this spacer in between the frame and the differential drop there. I'm going to reuse this metal washer that it had, and that just sits right up in there. Get this bolt to go through. Alright, and then install the new nut up top. So I now have this side completely done, and you can see that it now matches the passenger side. So I'm hoping that, again, this eliminates the problem. You can see how flat that is. So I've gotten everything tightened up. Again, we have the spacer bolt here, the skid plate on both sides. There's nothing that has to be done with this bracket. All 3 bolts line up just fine. There's plenty of clearance from this drop spacer here. And if you can see, right up underneath, 2 spacers was just enough, because whatever this island of the skid plate is just beneath it.
On the driver's side bracket here, I read that part of it might have to be cut off in order to clear this corner of the differential drop. So I'm going to test one screw here. If I can't get this one in, then I'm definitely going to have to cut. If I can avoid cutting, I will. So if I can bring you guys up underneath here real quick, this is the piece that I was told, hopefully my camera can focus this close. This is the piece right here that I was told you had to cut off just the corner of it, so that way it wouldn't touch the differential when you dropped it. I could probably fit an index card in between this and the bracket itself. It's very close, but it's not touching. So if any of you guys are doing this to your Tacoma, I didn't have to cut. I'm glad I didn't have to cut because it made it that much easier. I do have an angle grinder with me, but if you're doing this mod, no trimming is necessary. So the last step for today's project, I'm going to be using the stock bolts for the skid plate up front, and then the rear 2 are going to be replaced with this bolt and a spacer. Because of the drop, obviously, we had to lower the differential skid plate, which means we had to lower this one too. Alright Alright guys, so it's the next day. I got everything buttoned up on the truck. We're just going to take another look up underneath. One thing that I wanted to mention, a lot of people don't want to do this kit because technically you do lose ground clearance. This jack point right here is about 13 inches, and you can see the skid plate is pretty much in line with it. So any ground clearance that you're losing from this kit is very negligible. You can see, I mean, it really doesn't affect it that much, and it gives you the straighter CV axle. So it really doesn't hinder it that much. We're back at this building here. We're gonna set up the GoPro and the camera and see if anything has changed. So after that small test, I don't know if you guys could hear it in that last clip, now I have some kind of popping weird, I have no idea. I don't know how to explain it. Hopefully the camera, at least the GoPro, picked that up. But I don't see anything wrong. The lift is installed properly. I have the CV or the diff drop now. There's nothing else to do. So comment down below, you guys, what do you think is that noise? Where's that noise coming from? Could it be the wheel and tire setup? Nothing's rubbing. There's still clearance between the upper control arm and the tire. Everything has been torqued and double checked. Everything is done that I could possibly do. So I don't know what that is. I was really hoping that this would solve the issue. So I'm kind of at a loss for words right now. I've only put 2 or 3 miles on the truck so far. So maybe I just need to drive it around a little bit more, let the truck get used to the new kit. I really don't know, you guys, so I'm kind of bummed. I really thought that was the solution to the issue that I was having. So I really don't know where to go from here. If you guys have any ideas for me, please put them down in the comment section below, and I'll do some more research on this, see what I can find. But that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next video.